Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I am in Peninsula State Park in Fish Creek, Wisconsin. It's a little island and it's a state park. It's beautiful. So we are going to take a little walk, a little hiking that I did earlier, and I thought it was so cool. So we're going to redo it for you guys. So it's called the Eagle Trail, and it goes right along the lakeshore path, and then it cuts into the Eagle Trail from there. And it goes right along the coast of Lake Michigan, the peninsula. So there's some really rough, difficult terrain that we will see today, right along the edge. And yeah, so I am just gonna shut up. I might say something periodically. I have a friend with me, so you might hear him periodically, but for the most part, we will try to stay quiet and enjoy the video. I wish I had a gimbal so it won't shake. That's okay. Try to keep it as still as I possibly can. Look, there's a golf ball. How does a golf ball get over here? There's actually a golf course in the state park, but that's pretty far. I don't understand unless someone's like superpower and could hit a ball this far. But random things. Sometimes you find random things in the forest. Is this technically a forest? I would like to think so. Has a lot of woods, and most of it is very rural, and there's parts that are untouched by man. The paths that we are on is very clearly marked and rough enough, than having to go out and try to venture off path. Although I do like doing that sometimes. Mushrooms. Fungi. Amazing thing. There's an awesome documentary on Netflix called The Magic of Fungi or something like that. It's so amazing. So this is technically not a path. I just liked it. So I guess I'm going against my own words, but we're just going to cut through actually unpaved woods, but it's pretty clear cut to the path. Plus, I wanted to show you this thing that someone made. Rule of thumb, if you come here and you want to hike, boots, walking stick, gloves, long pants, and bug spray, because there's a lot of ticks and poison ivy. Look at this, guys. Isn't this cool? It looks like some type of Blair Witch crap, but I like it a lot. This is actually where I got my walking stick. It's from this pile right here. I want to go in it, but I'm afraid there's spiders and stuff in there. So, nope, that's a no. But look at that. That's so cool. I like the wide angle because you get the entire thing in it. Been on a lot of hiking places, and this one is by far one of my favorites so far. It's very rough. At some point, you're literally walking on the cliff, on sharded rocks. But it's really cool. And as long as you're careful and you're agile, you could do it. Watching out for poison ivy. I'm pretty covered though, so. Sorry guys, we got disconnected. It might actually start drizzling, raining, which is kind of cool. That will make for pretty ambiance. There is the Lake Michigan right there, the peninsula. It's Green Bay. The Green Bay as they call it, but it is Lake Michigan. And I found that out because my friend told me. So you learn something new every day. But we're gonna go by the water when we're closer up Eagle Trail because it's much flatter. There's bigger flat rocks that you could sit on because it's really rocky and a little slippery. And we're gonna stack some rocks, sorry. We took this trail earlier and it was about 2 hours. I'm hoping I could film the whole thing. It's like a magical forest. It reminds me of a mythical forest. Speaking of stacking, look. There's some stack rocks right now. It is an art form. It's not hard, but it is an art form to be able to stack rocks that stay stacked. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? I think it's good that we're filming now. I'm sure there's gonna be less people because it is currently around 3 p.m. It's a cool 65 degrees or so, and Fahrenheit. And so here we are. I wish it was a little sunnier so you could get the full scope of the beautiful colors here. Sorry for the shakiness. There might actually be a little shakiness here, I think. I hold it like this. Gives it balance. It's a shake. Oh yeah, it is helping. Maybe that's how you're supposed to hold it all along. Much smoother.
Are you looking for the trail?
Yeah,
I think it is this way.
No, it's not.
When did we get off the trail? It's right there.
Oh. Poison ivy, watch out.
Which one?
No, I said just watch out. What plants you step on. Oh. The path is it's marked, but at the same time it's unmarked. So sometimes you can miss it. That's what happened right there. I'm already starting to get warm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop and take my shirt off, and I am covered with tons of bug spray. So I'm gonna put you guys down for a second.
This is the point where they intersect. We'll be coming back to this point.
Hello. Sorry about that. Let me get myself adjusted. It's not very warm out. So this difficult trail is what we're going on. And honestly, I think they should also put dangerous trail because it is a little rough. Now, we just came from the Minnehaha trail, which intersected with the lake shore, which we started on. And now we're going to the Eagle Trail. And this is the map. So here we go. It's gonna start off rough too, with all these rocks, natural rocks. Walking stick helps so much when you're hiking, especially when it's rough like this. This is nothing either. Wait till you guys see. What I do is I'm camping, so every time I go camping, the first thing I do is I find myself a really good walking stick. Okay, and then I whittle it. So I carve all the bark off. It's just easier. You have less chance of getting splinters if you whittle it right and you know how to smooth it out when you're done. Woodwork is something I really enjoy doing, whittling wood. My love for nature comes from when I was little. My mom, we lived in Indiana for a little while, and we lived in a house in the middle of the country, and our backyard was 10 acres of wooded land just like this. So for like 5 years of my childhood, I spent exploring the woods, and so I love nature and the woods. Sometimes you could hear the spirit of the woods talking to you if you just listen. It's like follow the yellow brick road, except the yellow brick road's all messed up, kind of like in Oz Part 2, Return to Oz. That's what it reminds me of because I am queer as fuck. This is pretty. Stay on trail, loose rock above. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky. Like I said, this is a rock path, which is ironic because it's natural. It wasn't man-made. It's like nature provided us our own path. Except for, of course, this wood plank over here because it's extremely muddy. I don't think that was here earlier.
Well, probably not. But I don't think we knew because we went over there.
No, we went over these planks.
I know we did, but we stopped over there first and then came back.
Oh yeah, you're right. Ooh, I want to go over here and show this. This is pretty. It's a pretty shot. If you guys could get the full scope of it. You guys are in wide angle camera, which is nice for things like this, but sometimes you don't get the full scope and dimension and color of things that are, you know, further down, but still close enough for you to see, but the camera sees it as very small. But it's best to film this type of stuff in wide angle so you get the full scope of how big this state park is. Oh, you're right. We went past on these planks, not the last ones. doesn't this remind you of like a mythical forest? The way all the trees are and all the roots are everywhere and rocks. Just reminds me of a fairy tale forest. Oh, it's a little muddy over here. So we're gonna go this way.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
This is why boots, regardless of the season, is very important to have, because we are right by water. So water seeps. Those hills right there, that's actually rock formation. Water seeps from them. And so it can make them, it does, no matter what time of the year, there is mud on this path. Look at this root work. Like how intricate these roots are. This system, ancient. It's amazing. Mother Nature is so beautiful. We're not gonna stay here. I just want to show you. Look how beautiful. We'll spend more time on the water momentarily. I always wondered, I've been debating this. I've said it several times. You see the notches in that rock? I don't know if any of you guys, if anyone's even watches this, if you could tell me what that is. Like, I think it just doesn't seem natural. My friend said it could be because over the years, heat expanding and expanding and deflating, it could have cracked it. But I don't know, they look kind of perfectly straight. So I'm like, maybe, this area used to be populated with Native Americans. Maybe it's something them, I don't know. It most likely is natural. So this far is only taking 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't stop at the beaches.
That's true. But I'm saying, like, it's probably shorter than we think.
Yeah.
We have private property on the other side of this lake. Look at another one. Now those look more sporadic, so maybe it is right, man.
Like somebody did that.
It looks like somebody carved that. So if any of you guys know, I highly doubt there's an archaeologist or anyone who is studying archaeology. Like, I don't know if you guys can answer that. What is that? Here's another one. Look how beautiful that is. Like, I would like, not down here, it's a hard fall, but I would like, if I lived over here, I would be in Wisconsin. I live in Chicago. I would be over here all the time, just sitting on those rocks and reading, maybe doing some work. I do remote work. My dream is to own property, my own house with some property like this behind it. One day, maybe. Sorry, guys, it's pretty rough right here. As you can see, it's slanted and there's a lot of roots. That's why if you're not agile, I wouldn't suggest this route, at least past this point. Oh, there are some Amish people coming, so
Okay, let's get out of the way.
I'm not going to film them because it's against their
Okay, let's get out of the way.
against their religion. So I'm going to turn the camera now.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. Off we go. Now, this is what I was talking about. This is when it starts getting rough. You have to climb. It's not even clear steps. That's why a walking stick with a sharp or very blunt, wide blunt end works the best, and a pair of boots. Boots that let your feet be flexible, where you could flex your feet to wrap around rocks as you are trying to catch them. You know, we are animals after all, and that's what our feet and fingers are for. Now, this part is amazing. Look at those caves. You could literally live in those caves if there was like an apocalypse. This is when it gets really rough. Are you ready?
Of course.
Let's do this. See how I hit the floor before I come down? So you can use this as leverage. This is a really cool part. Look at that drop off. You could literally, I'm okay. Thank you. Literally, these caves, walk in. People have their names written all over it. Go in. I don't want to go in too much because I don't know bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
But there you go. Natural cave for, you know, millions of years in the making, in very different layers. In different layers. That's why they look, because it's just different layers. It didn't all form at once. This is great rock to build with. Let's go that way. It's probably...
No, it's a drop off.
Oh, let me see that now. I want to get it on camera. And then this. Great cliff. Look at this, a natural spring. That water, look how clear it is. It's probably good enough to drink. Filters through all these rocks, and so Filters out all the impurities and adds minerals. If you were to have to survive in those caves, you have a fresh supply of water. Look at, so pretty. More rocks, more caves. So we're gonna get down to the beach soon. As soon as I find a path, one that has a path down. Come some people. I try not to film people, but see what I mean? Someone tried to stack rocks and it fell
Yeah.
because they didn't use the proper size rocks. That's why it's such an art form. Okay. Look at this beautiful, majestic. So let's take it all in for a minute. So just take it all in. And we are going to place some stacking rocks soon. As I find. Take a little break. I have some Pop-Tart if you get hungry. Well, I think I did. I meant to grab it.
What?
My Pop-Tart.
Oh, you didn't grab them?
I forgot, yeah. And I had trail mix. It's okay. Okay guys, I'm gonna start finding my rocks and you guys could watch me. Let me try to adjust it. I've got all the rocks over here. Okay. I want something bigger for the base. So we're going to find a big old sheetrock that is I guess we're gonna have to use this one. Found it. Just gonna set these over here. Where are you going? Okay, guys, I have the sheetrocks. So I am going to switch the camera. Oh, hi. So we're gonna start stacking. Let's see if I can do this. I'm not used to doing this. So, there you go. And stop.
You got more.
You don't want to stack them too high. That's what makes them fall. So I stocked these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them somewhere where they can't be disturbed. And I am going to put them right over here. I don't know if you guys can see it.
You want me to snap a picture?
No, I got it, baby. Thank you. Okay, so up close. Put it right in the wood. So pretty. It's actually a really cute shot. So we're gonna continue on the trail now. One more time. Cute. I hope stacking wasn't boring for you guys. Don't get used to seeing me though, because it's not gonna happen very often. Let me tie. Okay. Got my good old walking stick. Say goodbye to Green Bay, the Lake Michigan Peninsula. Make sure not to leave big sheetrock in the path of people's way, because you don't want them to slip and die. Okay, come on. Say hello.
Hi.
And here we go.
It's a lot easier when it's dry like this.
Yeah, that's true. He was just saying that the path is probably easier when it's dry, because earlier it was wetter. It was much wetter. See what I mean? Look at this. Really rough terrain.
You know what, babe? We should also point the camera up a little bit.
I will.
Establish a shot of where we're gonna go.
Look. That's where we're heading up. And that's not even, yep. That's as high as we're going. All the way around. It gets when you get to the top part, it actually is a lot flatter and easier. It's just this initial bottom trail to get up there is pretty rough. But it's kind of nice because it gives you a challenge, and it's great exercise. Look how close to the edge we are. See? Not to see my feet, but just to get a scope of and those jagged rocks. Somewhere where to fall and you hit your head the wrong way. Look at this. You have to climb up these roots. So, leverage. Whoa.
Got it?
Mm-hmm. Pretty rough, but I love it. Can't notice, but look at all these roots. You gotta really pay attention to where you walk. You gotta really pay attention to your surroundings and know your limits. Know your limits, that's the best advice. Know what you can and cannot do. Save yourself the hassle. It's so quiet, serene.
Keep going, Mocha. She's nosy. Excuse us.
She's cute.
Here you go. Go on through.
My walking stick broke.
What?
My walking stick broke.
It broke?
Yeah. I can still use it like this.
We'll find you another one. Ooh, you guys get to spontaneously. I could show you perfect example to show you how what the perfect walking stick. So I can tell by the wood over here. We're not gonna really find one too much over here because you notice how there's mainly thin branches. We want something thick, but not too thick. But we don't want anything flimsy because his was a little flimsy. My bad. I picked it out for him in a rush, and that's why it broke. So let's try to find a walking stick.
You know what, babe? It actually, I think it works better like this.
Really?
Yeah, but we can still look for one for the video.
Well, yeah. Well, he likes it, so that's good. Because it's more like the size of a regular walking cane instead of a staff. I prefer the staff. More leverage. But the point remains, I'm gonna still find a walking stick. So you guys, if you guys are ever out in the wild, you don't need to buy a walking stick. You just find one yourself, and when you're done, just give it back to nature. Let it do its thing. Just make sure it's already on the ground. Never ever cut down something Don't do that. Cutting down trees is a huge no-no in my book. It makes me sad. But let's see if we could find a walking stick. Now, if you notice, mine has a curve to it. Now, if you could find one that has a curve on one end, that's great because it provides a great ergonomically correct design for your wrist. Oh, speaking.
This would have been a good spot to do it in.
No, I wanted to do it at the lake. Look at that. Notice how this one stands because you go big and small. These people do different mismatch. You should stick to the same shapes. It's like an art piece in the middle of the forest. I love it. And it has all the same type of rocks around it. And you know what? This could actually be in a art museum as a pretentious exhibit. And they call it The Rocks That Form Our Lives by Gabriel Montage, painted 2021 on
Today.
yeah, today, 2021, on a cheap canvas, but I'm selling it for $4 billion. That's how it goes, right? Okay, enough of the funny. Now we're starting to get into an area where you could find some nice sticks. Rule of thumb, if you could find something that has a curve to it, that's great. You don't need to. But if you're like me and your hand hurts after a while gripping, and trust me, when you're walking like this, you're going to be gripping your staff a lot for leverage. You want it to be as comfortable as possible. I have yet to wrap it. I usually wrap it with duct tape to give it a padding. But let's see. Again, oh, there's one right there. Hold this. Now be careful when you walk. No poison ivy. There is no poison ivy. See, look at this one. This one is absolutely perfect. Check it. Oh, that has mold on it, so we don't want that. But that was it had a curve. Now, if you're like my friend here and you prefer a cane, the straighter the better with the canes. Those are the best. But with staffs, a curve is always nice. That was a perfect thing, but it had white mold on it, and you don't want that. It's wet, so, but I'm on a mission. We're still taking the path though, so still enjoy it. Stay on trail, loose rock. Damn right I'm gonna stay on trail when it comes to this type of. I'm actually all about going off trail, but not in something like this. Okay. Not more crazy root work. It's like nature was like, here you go, I'm providing you with your own steps. Look at that. Now tell me that looks like a symbol. That looks like some type of ancient writing or something. Look at this. Look how beautiful. It's like a beautiful picture, right?
Mm-hmm. With the moss and everything.
Yeah, it's like a photo op.
When you look up
Like I could see like Versace
the rock wall.
or some type of designer taking advantage of an aesthetic pleasing environment. We now are committed to helping planet Earth. It is very apparent with our new ads with moss everywhere. That's going to be their motto. We're not mossing around. That's actually pretty good. Okay, so it seems to clear up a bit right here. If you notice, it's getting a little flatter. And from here, it's not as bad. There is one little thing that's up there that's rocky, but it has more steps. But as you can see, it's getting a little flatter. Now this part is what reminds me of a mythical fairy tale forest. You got the roots, the sporadic trees and sporadic, you know, that sporadic design. I'm like I want to see fairies. Okay, it's okay. I could chill for a second. My boyfriend wants to take pictures. Look at that. So beautiful. I'm gonna set you down for a second. Just trying to adjust on the forest floor. It's not so even.